Welcome to the news. Republican President Edgar Lungu has warned civil servants against involving themselves in politics. The police have arrested 6 ex-convicts who have been terrorizing residents in Kapiri-Mposhi. And other news in detail. Republican President Edgar Lungu has warned civil servants against involving themselves in politics. President Lungu does not want those with political inclinations to influence government service delivery. He has observed that there has been both sabotaging and poor implementation of government programs owing to some civil servants embroiling themselves in politics. Zanis is reporting that President Lungu expressed his concern when he addressed civil servants in Solwezi on Friday evening. And the President has expressed sadness that workers in the public service do not passionately work at the same pace with their counterparts in the private sector. He is further displeased that some heads of department in government institutions rush into signing memos without first reading the content. And the President says he wants to see production of maize in Zambia increase from the current 1.29 tons per hectare to more than 4 tons per hectare. The President believes that this can be achieved through the promotion of good agricultural practices in the country. Speaking in a speech read for him by Vice President Inongewina at the official opening of the 93rd Agriculture and Commercial Show, President Edgar Lungu acknowledged that Zambia's agricultural sector needs mechanization. President Lungu has also observed the need to use appropriate seed varieties in the sector. He thinks that time to actualize smart agriculture in Zambia has now come.
Thanks, madam. Yes, from Zimbabwe, manufactured from Zimbabwe. Yes.
And once we embark on the value addition path, then the sky is the limit. And once we have reached the volumes that we need to produce, then we look at the marketing of these products. Because creating market linkages, like what the social society is trying to do, is vital to grow the industries and to grow industrialization. And government is creating a very conducive environment for the small sector producers, manufacturers, industrialists. We have opened up some market linkages in China, in Europe, and in the African region, areas like cooking oils, vegetable oils, the markets, not only in Zambia, but in the surrounding countries. So we have the potential. But we have to actualize this potential in Zambia. So we can't talk about potential here. So I hope this exchange of knowledge and ideas at a commercial show like this will help us understand the dimensions.
This year's Agriculture and Commercial Show is being held under the theme Embracing Industrial Development. Minister of Agriculture Michael Katambo has noted the need for farmers to assimilate the theme for each year's Agricultural and Commercial Show. Mr. Katambo states that farmers need to be educated about each year's theme and its creation so that they can embrace the event. He says that this year's theme of embracing industrial development, for example, is in line with government's efforts to support farmers.
We've seen His Excellency the President is visiting these mechanized companies that are making various agricultural equipment and microfinancing institutions, so that at least we can link our farmers so that they could be able to get these affordable mechanized equipment. Because to enhance production and productivity, our farmers need proper equipment. So this is part of industrialization. So for us, this theme suits very well. Because if our farmers are adding value to the crop commodities or even to livestock or fisheries, to talk about agriculture, the varieties of crops, there is value addition. Then we are creating employment, we are uplifting our livelihoods of our people, and then our citizens of our farmers are generating income out of the whole process of value addition to what they are producing.
Minister of Justice Kevin Lubinda has reassured the nation there was no government-wide paper issued for the Constitution Amendment Bill 2019. Mr. Lubinda says contents of the bill remain as was adopted at the National Dialogue Forum. He tells QTV News that government has not, however, gone back on what was adopted at the NTF.
The fact that the Patriotic Front as a party has taken positions on some of the provisions does not necessarily mean that the PF has walked back on any matter, because the PF also participated through representatives at the NDF. And if their representatives did not express the views of the Patriotic Front, they have the right, just like the UPND have the right to say there are some provisions in the Constitution Amendment Bill that they don't agree with. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it is the PF to blame. It is not the PF to blame. It is not the government to blame. This is not a blame game.
Well, I'll take you to Kapiri Mposhi, where police have arrested 6 ex-convicts who have been terrorizing residents with a spate of house break-ins and thefts of motor vehicle equipment in Kapiri Mposhi. Household goods and car batteries and stereos worth thousands of kwacha have since been recovered, and some of the owners have identified their items. Central Province Police Commissioner Chola Katanga has confirmed that the ex-convicts who have been living in Zambia compound were apprehended in a random operation on Friday. Ms. Katanga has named them as Sunday Sekanyika, 29, popularly known as Dangote, Kennedy Mpundu, 40, Brian Kasabwe, 42, Gift Mainza, 32, Nonifes Mlenga, 23, and Matthews Mutende, 28. He has told Zonis today that the items retrieved from the arrested suspects include, among others, 6 car batteries, 3 hi-fi and home theaters, car stereos, and an amplifier. The suspects are expected to appear in court soon. Socialist Party 2021 presidential candidate Fred Membe has linked the high unemployment levels in Zambia to the country having unjust economy. Dr. Membe also thinks that one of the main reasons for high rates of poverty in the country is the failure of the economy to provide sufficient jobs. Speaking during a town hall meeting in Dola, Dr. Membe argued that joblessness is therefore a serious problem in Zambia. Dr. Membe has since suggested that everything possible be done to maximize job opportunities in the country.
In this regard, a profound responsibility rests on both the political authorities and those who hold powerful positions in the economy to ensure that there are jobs. Everything possible needs to be done to maximize job opportunities. And where the choice is between greater profits and greater employment, the latter must be chosen. In Zambia today, this is a matter of great urgency. We have too many economically active people without jobs, without work, without income. As long as this remains the case, there can be no hope for us achieving a secure and prosperous future for our people.
Government is happy that most of those that shunned the National Dialogue Forum, NTF, now have realized that they should have not done so. Government Parliamentary Chief Whip Brian Muntubile says it is, however, unfortunate the realization has been made too late. Mr. Muntubile has told QTV News that government's comfort is that all political parties and church mother bodies in the country participated in the forum. He has since wondered which between those that attended the NTF and those other organizations that did not would the people of Zambia now trust if another similar national process was to be held.
So we can't politic every day. So even if somebody came up and said, let's have another dialogue, who is going to go to that dialogue? Because the MPs will not go there. They already participated in that particular process. The NGOs that came to the NTF will not go there. Other CSOs, they will not go there. So who's going to go there? You know, in this democratic dispensation, you govern by consensus, you know, the voice of the majority. Now, if you look at the 400 plus delegates that came to the NDF versus the 7 other organizations that stayed away and speaking the loudest in the media, which group would you want to go with? I think these are the questions that the Zambians need to answer. Yeah, so the campaigns are there, we know about them, and I want to say it's an exercise in futility, because they pretend to have boycotted the process. What do you mean boycott? Just the fact that they didn't come in that 16 days and later realized that that stayed up from an important process. They've been at it for over 60 days. They're actually participating in the NDF in a way, maybe post-NDF, but they're busy with it every day. It's a mainstay now. If they really boycotted, they would stay there for the process completely.
Retired teachers in Lusaka province who are in staff houses have been cautioned to take their eviction letters seriously. Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo says his office has dispatched letters to all such teachers occupying staff houses in some schools. Mr. Lusambo states that the directive to vacate the staff houses must be followed. He says that government does not want a situation where teachers in the province continue traveling long distances to go for work when there are nearby staff houses specifically constructed for them.
His Excellency the Chamber was given by you people. The same people are complaining that's the responsibility they gave to His Excellency the Chamber to administer the affairs of this nation. Administering the affairs of this nation is to do the right thing. And whatever things which we are doing now, it is the right thing. And for those people who want to dare government, they are doing it at their own prayer. We are moving in. We are moving in. And let them treat those letters with the seriousness it deserves. They are real letters, and we mean business. We are not joking. We are not joking.
Still in our local news, the Young Women in Action YWA is saddened by the seemingly growing trend of some women implicating themselves in money laundering and other fraud-related crimes. YWA National Coordinator Harriet Chibuta states that this trend is drawing back efforts by civil society organizations who support the empowerment of women in the country. Ms. Chibuta has wondered why women are being involved in money laundering crimes when there are many things that they can do to empower themselves. She has since encouraged women to desist from such shameful activities.
From the bad position that they've always been in, and then to see that there's this trend of women, and either young or middle-aged women for that matter, taking part in this laundering and thieving. It's really sad. We highly condemn it. Young women, there are many other opportunities you can look into. There are many skills. You don't have to resort to committing crimes. I mean, you steal today and then what? Look at the first one from Barclays. She's fled the country, but then obviously at some point or another she will want to come back. This is her home. Imagine the implications that all of this brings. So we call upon the young women to just think outside the box. Don't just think based on where you work or the small business that you're having. Think outside the box. Be, outgoing in terms of what you can do in order to raise money, but not thieving or laundering or any of those bad vices.
And finally, in our news, the Central Statistical Office, CSO, has disclosed that most of the minerals processed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is refined in Zambia. Acting Director Godson Sinyenga has explained that DRC does not currently have the capacity to process such minerals. Mr. Sinyenga states that the minerals mined in DRC are being refined at, among other mines in Zambia, Konkola Copper Mines, KCM and Chambeshi. He says that the names of such processed minerals do, however, remain in the names of DRC exporters.
Because we are having a lot of toyed-in stuff from DRC Congo because we don't have enough refinery capacity there. So most of the refineries, they are doing it in Zambia. They're doing at KCM, they're doing at Chambeshi. Sometimes when we export those, we net them out because those are not our exports. They're just processing and they're still in the names of those exporters in Congo. So in terms of classification, there are guidelines which guide on how we classify these various products. But if a Zambian company buys the copper and they do some minor adjustment to it from Congo, they buy copper from Congo, they do some minor adjustment to it and export it is classified as a re-export.
That's all we had for you in our news. Until then, it's bye-bye and God bless.